What's up, Gemini? Welcome. Let's see what message of Spirit has for you at this current time. Whatever you need to know. Spirit, what messages do you have for the sign of Gemini? What messages do you have for the sign of Gemini? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What messages do you have for the Gemini? Let's see what Spirit wants you to know. You've got the Three of Crypts. Crypts in this deck are cups. The Six of Claws. Claws in this deck are swords. You have the Two of Castles. Castles are wands. The Nine of Castles. Two of Claws. And you have the Ace of Castles. All right, so with the Three of Crypts to the Six of Claws to the Two of Castles, some of you are or have been put in a third-party situation that you are currently moving yourself out of. Some of you are also currently you got yourself out of a situation that has moved you to calmer waters, but it's also kind of put you on a path of where do I go, right? So you're on a path of options is what I like to say. With the Nine of Castles to the Two of Claws to the Ace of Castles. With the Ace of Castles, like I said, castles are wands. So with the Nine of Wands, either you're very determined to figure out your path because you've already got Two of Wands and Two of Claws, right? Two of Swords. So that just tells me that you're really, really in your head about what to choose, where to go. And it's to a point where it could be stressing you out a little bit. But at the end of the day, you're trying to get to a place in your life where, in a way, I don't know if some of you have lost passion for something or someone, but you're looking to rekindle that. Like from what I'm seeing is like you're moving out of an energy that is pushing you towards something that is going to ignite this passion in you. So some of you have either lost interest in a job, you're losing interest in a relationship, someone lost interest in you, and you're trying to figure out, you know, what the best way to navigate from that is. But either way, if you're part of the group that is involved or was involved with a third party energy and you're moving forward and you don't know which path to choose, that tells me that either A, you know that you're involved in a third party energy and you don't know whether to leave this person, or B, you've already left this person and you're contemplating if that was the right decision to make. And I'm telling you right now, it was, right? Anybody that puts you in a third party situation, whether that's another person, place, and or thing, that's someone that cannot and will likely not prioritize you and your needs. And so if you're looking for that confirmation of, well, was that the right thing to do? Am I being too harsh? Only you know your circumstance, right? But from what I'm seeing is like you really are in your head and you're stressed out about it, and don't be. Because again, I mean, you could have walked away from someone that didn't prioritize you or did put you in a third party situation. And whether or not they choose to come to their senses and whether or not you choose to take them back or take them at face value is up to you, right? That's going to create the next chapter of this journey that you're currently on. But from what I'm seeing is that some of you are really trying to find this like I just see passion. You're looking for something that to love, someone to love, right? So the way I see it is that's why you're in your head about it. Because one, you're like, well, I want to move forward, but I'm still holding on to the past, right? Because I mean, look at the Six of Claws. Like you're still holding on to the past, but it's like you're being guided to go towards calmer waters, and it's up to you if you choose to take that path. But again, you're at that crossroads. So you do need to make a decision, But it doesn't have to be a decision that stresses you out. You just need to be determined to make the decision, right? Because the Nine of Wands doesn't have to just be the wounded warrior. This is someone that has been through so much that they can feel the effects of what they've gone through, or they're like, this isn't over. I might be tired, but I got to push through and I got to persevere. And so that's what you need to do, is you need to push past the past, and you got to push past the negative thoughts and the negative energy that surrounds you, because this is where you're headed, right? Like, you're headed to this castle. You're going from one castle, right, to another. Look how dark this is, right? Look how light that is. Like, this just seems like a friendlier castle, right? In comparison, they're both beautiful, but I mean, I would kind of contemplate that before contemplating that. So that's what I'm saying. And then look, there's an easier road, there's an easier path. Here it looks like you got to scale the damn thing. The hell? No thank you. So the way I see it is, this is where you're headed. You need a bigger picture if you don't already have one. So if you're trying to figure out where to go, maybe you need to figure out what that feels like to you, what that looks like to you, because you just don't know, and you will be given clarity if you allow yourself to have the clarity. But first, in order to find clarity, you kind of have to go through, you kind of have to take that trip down memory lane and remind yourself why you're even on this journey. Remind yourself why you left that person, why you no longer want to be in that situation, and why it is you want to go wherever it is you want to go. All right, let's see what other messages we got. What messages do we have for Gemini? Sun, Moon, Venus. What messages do you have, Spirit, for Gemini? Cool. All right, so you have the Page of Wands. You have the Hermit. You've got the Six of Swords. Again, right? The Page of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, a lot of page energy here, and then you have the Ten of Pentacles at the bottom. Okay, this for me is just pertaining to a journey. So a lot of you are leaving something that's familiar to you, towards something that you know nothing about. Page of Wands talks about starting a new journey, right? With the Hermit mode. So some of you have reflected and have done some kind of inner work to a point where you're ready to move forward. You're ready to move on, right? You're excited for this new journey. You've got no clue what to expect, but some part of you is ready, right? And with the Page of Swords, like this, like, you be prepared to, how do I say it? Be prepared to have good news come your way, because for those of you that are taking a chance on yourself and moving to calmer waters, you do have positive things waiting for you, to the point where you're going to be able to look back on everything that you've done up until this point, and it's going to create this spark within you with this Page of Cups, where you start to find and feel emotional fulfillment again. Like from the first spread, right? I just kept feeling like you're looking for something that's going to strike and ignite this passion within you. But whatever journey you're on, this just further clarifies that, because again, you're gonna start to feel this ounce of emotional fulfillment that you haven't felt in a while, and it's gonna put things in perspective for you. So some of you could be waiting for a letter, an email, a text, a phone call. This could be pertaining to a new job. Maybe you're looking to get into another school, or you're trying to get into a school. Whatever it is that you're currently waiting on, is coming for sure. You do have a new journey ahead of you, and again, it's really going to put in perspective everything that has happened up until this point, and it's going to be a very rewarding, not only emotionally, but I mean, 10 of Pentacles, right? That's everything. Like, that's everything that you could want. And then at the bottom of that too, you have the 8 of Pentacles, right? Freebies. But yeah, so what I'm seeing is if you're worried about taking this leap of faith, don't be. You do need to reflect though. So for those of you that aren't quite at that point where you've done the reflection or you've done the work, maybe some meditating. If you pray. If you journal. Just something that's going to make sense to you to have more clarity on what to do in terms of your next move, is the advice here. Let's go ahead and get some money cards pulled for you. Do you have any money messages for the sign of Gemini, Spirit? Are there any money messages for the signs of Gemini? Okay. Temperance. The Chariot. High Priestess. Yeah, again, you guys keep getting repeating cards, so you have Temperance, Chariot, High Priestess, Judgment, Page of Cups again, and the Four of Cups. So being that this is a money message, from what I'm seeing, those of you that feel that your money isn't moving or growing, or maybe you haven't found a job, or maybe you have a job but it doesn't pay you as much as you would like to be paid and you're waiting for something, that is coming. Okay, so your money, if it's stagnant right now, it's for a reason. For some of you, you could just barely have the money that's just paying for your everyday needs, right? So you have money for rent and food and gas, the things you need, but you don't have money to go out and really enjoy yourself. But from what I'm seeing here is you do have money that's coming in. You're just being asked to be patient. So some of you could just really need to create these boundaries for yourself. Like maybe you like shopping, right? Like maybe you're just an impulsive shopper. Like Gemini tends to be a little indecisive. So like, and I know it's always that ongoing joke of like there's two of you, but it's like, I don't know, you could be that type of Gemini that I didn't know what I wanted, so I got one of each, right? And you're just being wasteful at that point because spend your money how you need to spend it. But if you're wondering why it's stagnant, it's because you are not using your money to the capacity of what it's meant to be used for. So maybe you need to reevaluate what it is you're spending your money on, and maybe create a budget or a savings. Doesn't mean you can't continue to live like that, but you may have to cut back on some of those kinds of impulsive buys. And then that will create an energy flow for you to have more money come in, right? Because not only will you be saving, but who knows, at that point you're like, oh, I really like saving, so maybe I'm going to get a job that pays me more, or maybe I'm going to stay where I'm at and just continue to make money, in the sense of maybe I ask for a raise. Like, you know what I mean? You don't know what it will pull out of you. With the High Priestess, the Judgment to the Page of Cups. Again, Page of Cups, it is an immature energy. So again, some of you aren't being smart about the way you're using your money. And so a judgment call is being placed, right? So it's like, okay, if you're just going to keep wasting your money, then we're going to continue to bring in obstacles that are meant to serve as lessons for you to understand and appreciate the value of money, because money is a blessing. It doesn't come for free. You know, you work hard for it. And so maybe it's not so much about the temporary side. Maybe you're the kind of person that's like, oh, I love going out to dinner every night. Or, you know, I make enough money to be able to go and buy clothes that I don't ever wear, right? But then maybe you get to a point where you like stop and you stop buying these smaller things. And now you're like, I'm going to save for a house. I'm going to save for a car. And now you're like, oh, like you understand the value of saving, because now you're saving for something bigger, something that you're not used to, right? And so it just creates more of an appreciation because you're trying to hit that goal. So yeah, that's what I see. So if your money's stagnant, it's for a reason. Just reevaluate how you're spending it. And by the way, I did see a consistent flow because the crow had water coming out of the cup. So yeah, you're still gonna continue to have money to pay your bills and all that. I don't see like your money flow stopping. But yeah. All right, any love messages for Gemini? You have the Nine of Cups. You have the Five of Swords. You have the Ten of Wands. The Eight of Swords. And the Six of Swords again. To the Two of Swords at the bottom. But then you have the Lovers. Interesting. Gemini, from what I'm seeing, some of you are just so closed off to love that the thought of it burdens you. You're like, I've been burned one too many damn times. Like, I don't even care anymore. I want to focus on other things. I want to focus on myself. Others of you are in situations right now that are putting you in your head to the point where you are feeling burdened. You're like, man, like, I think I want to be single, or I don't know that I want to be with this person, or this person brings me stress. You're focusing on the negative here. But it's enough for you. One, it's just constantly keeping you in your head, right? And Gemini, that's all you do. Like you're in your head constantly overthinking situations, coming up with scenarios to the point where they burden you. So one, if you know that your physical reality isn't ideal with the person that you're with, then maybe you really need to contemplate removing yourself from that situation. Some of you can't, right? Some of you are married. But you really do need to find a strategy or a way through this situation, because with all of this negative energy, it's hard for you to focus on the positive things, right? It's like maybe you still have love for this person. This person still has love for you, but you guys are constantly fighting. You bring nothing but burden to each other. You're just so over it. You're constantly in your head and you just want to move on. So this is your confirmation. If you are in a dynamic right now that is not serving a higher purpose for you, putting you in your head, stressing you out, causing confusion, it's not for you. For those of you that are contemplating divorce, I do see you going through with that. For those of you that are cross-watching and wondering if your Gemini partner is contemplating divorce, they are, and they will want to go through with it. They are at a crossroads, though. But just because they're at a crossroads, you have the Lovers, right? Gemini energy. So the way I see it is like, you could be at a crossroads because you're like, well, I still love this person. I still want to make it work. I just hope that they change or whatever, right? Whatever you want to put on that. But this could also be that, yeah, you're at that crossroads, but once you make a decision, you're going to be met with your divine counterpart, is what I see. So you're dealing with soulmate energy. So one, you already are with your soulmate, and it's turned karmic, and you guys need to find a way to navigate if you truly want the wish fulfillment. And if you can't, then you need to cut it off, and you will be met with another soulmate. For those of you that are reflecting back on love, because right now this could be your energy, right? You're Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. You're looking at love with all these swords and all these wands, and you're like, nope, not for me. I'm happier where I'm at, and so stay there. You know what I mean? But don't be so closed off to love. Like, love doesn't have to be on the brain. It doesn't even have to be what you want at the moment, but don't be so closed off to it that you push people away that that could possibly be really good candidates for you, because you do, no matter what, there's soulmate energy coming. It's what you don't see. So be open to things. Be open to people, experiences. All right, Spirit, what messages? Pull some oracle cards and then we'll get out of here. Spirit, what messages do you have? All right, you've got a water, dreams, and a book. Right off the bat, some of you are writers and or can write, and that's your dream that you want to fulfill. You want to be a writer in this lifetime, and you're like, I don't know if I'm any good. Try it. You don't know till you try it. Stop being emotional about it, right? So water talks about emotion, talks about being in your head, but water is also intuitive. So go with the flow of things. You know what I mean? Like if some of you genuinely do want to be a writer and it's genuinely that cutthroat and simple, like if that's what the reading is, if you are a writer and that's what you want to do, keep going, follow your dream, because at the end of the day, you don't know what's waiting for you on the other side of a dream. And it may not be your time now, but it could be your time to either A, if you've already written something, put it out there, or at least start sharing it with the people that you trust that will give you genuine feedback, or put it out there in the sense of looking for a publisher. Like, dreams do come true. There's a reason that famous people are famous. They took a chance, they took a risk. Some of them, yeah, they're born into it, but whatever, right? Majority of them, not so much. Others of you, you could be feeling very intuitive at this point in time, or very emotional. When I think water, I think Pisces, right? Plus there's fish, so I think that's just kind of a given. But when I think about Pisces, I think about the intuitive energy that they harbor. And so I feel like either A, you're getting intuitive messages in your dreams, so pay attention to your dreams at this point in time. Because I mean, even Freddie here, right? He's got the little knives. It's still sword energy to me, so this definitely is pertaining to Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is the Gemini reading. And for whatever reason, I have noticed in other readers' readings, when they do Gemini, they do talk about a lot of like paranormal type of situations. So even though you guys are air and you don't really possess like a high level of intuition, doesn't mean that your other placements can't. And it doesn't mean that you're not capable. So the way I see it is your dreams could be telling you something. And so really pay attention to it. Sometimes your dreams can feel like sometimes dreams can go so in depth, they don't even feel real. They can feel like, well, obviously they're not real, but like they can feel almost like a storyline or a movie or a book playing out. Or some of you are getting tips in your dreams for a book to write. Again, goes back to that. Or at the end of the day, follow your dreams, follow your intuition, because you are the writer of your own book, right? Your life is your story. So however you want to live your life and whatever direction you want to move in, it's your story. Like, you create that shit. Like, don't let anybody else do that. So yeah, that's what I got for you. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys here in a couple days.